Good morning, good afternoon. This is Coach Maurice Beasley here. We are officially on our first day, first lecture, first information on animation for web, DMPT 2310. Hopefully, everybody's in the right place. Um, I'm going to be your instructor for the entire time for an entire course. We have a 10-week course laid out where it's going to cover a lot of information, but it's going to be a lot of information that will be very helpful for your futures. At least that's my hope and prayer. So let's get started. I want to talk first about kind of myself a little bit. Then we're going to go over how the class process is going to work in Blackboard for doing your online classes here. I'm going to give you a series of about 10 or 15-minute videos that'll be linked together and shown to you in a playlist, and you'll have access to the playlist. And when all the videos are completed for each one of the lectures. So you can stop looking at my face. Let me go over here to sharing. And what I want to do is I want to share my version of Blackboard here. Okay, so this is Blackboard. You should all be familiar with this by now. This is where our class for DMPT 2310 is going to be. You should have the similar look to this. Starting from top to bottom. Up at the top, there's going to be a section for announcements and then later on discussions. I will be putting up every week an announcement about something, whether it's a due, whether it's a lab or project that's coming up due, whether it's something about the class. Like I know that we're going to have July 4th weekend happening. We're also going to have Memorial Day weekend happening during our course. So there'll be some announcements about that. Work does not stop just because it's the holiday. You'll have the day off, but you'll also have assignments that have to be done before or right after that holiday is over. So make sure that you're aware and you're keeping track of everything. Um, Discussions will be intermittently put up to discuss how the course is moving for you. Some of the things like the projects will have a discussion group with it, so that way y'all can pass information to each other and talk about the projects and see how y'all are getting along, A, with each other, and B, getting along within the project. So, here is my instructor contact information. If you don't have it, you will have it in the syllabus, but it's also going to be, of course, here inside of Blackboard. Uh, Name, phone number, well, my phone number, my office number is not there. It's in the syllabus, but you'll have it here too. You'll have access to me in the form of a WebEx meeting if you need to. So feel free to do that if you wish, and all you have to do is just click the link to book the time. Let's talk about the syllabus. So the cafe chat. Before I get to the syllabus, the cafe chat is going to be the next thing that's going to be available to you. Make sure that you click on that, look at the information. It's basically our code of conduct. Read through the code of conduct, click on the link to do so, and then here into the post, you will just type in simply, I have read the code of conduct. You hit post, that task is done. This is one of the many tasks that you have to get completed in the first week, really in the first couple of days of you starting the course. So we start on the course starts officially on Monday, first day, where you can view this, and you need to have this done by Thursday. You know that you should have these things done by Thursday. The other things are sitting here under start here first. Syllabus and the course schedule. You need to view that, download it. I suggest that you do the downloading. This is going to be a rundown of everything we're going to be going through in class. Course schedule is going to be here. My contact information is going to be here. Rules about late work are going to be here. Just a spoiler alert, there is no such thing as late work. You will have labs that will be due at a certain time. Those labs will give you you'll have the opportunity to submit the lab, I think, three separate times. So if you do the lab incorrect, you can get feedback on how to correct it, and you'll have a chance to correct it two more extra times before the due date. Once the due date happens, you're not going to be able to submit anymore, and then you'll get the grade accordingly to what you got. Projects, you have one time to submit. Once you submit it that one time, that is it. And you cannot submit late. So after the due date, you won't be able to submit. If you don't put anything in the labs, if you don't put anything in on the projects, guess what? You get a zero. That's how it works because in our real world, you have deadlines. And if you don't meet the deadline, you're going to be fired. You'll be not there so much disciplined. You'll be yelled at for a minute, and then the second time you're going to be fired. So let's prevent that sort of thing by getting us into the process of it now, of doing the work, getting the work done, managing your time, accessing your resources if you need help. I am one of your biggest resources if you need some assistance on how to do something and how to do it properly. I created all this stuff, so I know what needs to get done. So get with me if you need to. Course participation. Oh, sorry, the textbook information. For my classes, the textbook that's sitting here as the required textbook, it is something I suggest heavily that you go and get, add it to your library. There are times through the class, through the courses, where we're going to ask you or talk to you about something that's in that book. So make sure you have some type of access to it, either buying the hard physical book, or finding an ebook if you can. There is a link to Amazon to purchase this book. I'm not sure if the bookstore will have these books because usually they do not have them on hand, at least as of right now. Suggested textbooks as well as required software and materials are going to be here for all the courses too. So make sure that you're looking at that. And if you need to go get those things, do the process of going to get them. I suggest that you do so. Now, the no-show assignment. Make sure you are doing the no-show assignment. This is the thing that will definitely get you kicked out of a course if you don't do it within the week. Um, get to the no-show. It is not a difficult thing to do. It's a simple little test to take, simple answer questions, and it's done. It takes you less than, 20, 30 minutes maybe to get it done. Same thing with the work ethic discussion. This is one of the discussions that's going to require you to type out your information. Type it out. Type out the information. Be as thorough and detailed oriented as you can. You are going to have to, in our classes, to create reports. These lab reports, these project reports are basically you saying, instead of you standing up in front of a class to say how and why you did these things, the report is required in order for you to explain how and why you did these things. So that's what this work ethic discussion gets you started on. Standing up, saying what you feel and how you are doing things. So that way everybody can understand what's going on. Since we're doing this class as an online class, we don't have a chance to stand up in front of each other and talk. So these reports, these discussions are how we're going to be able to talk and communicate with each other. Make sure that we're using that. This course introduction is the next thing that you should do. Click onto and take a look at. It's going to give you an overview of DMPT as in all the courses and what you should be doing. Kind of reiterating what I'm talking about now, plus going over a little bit more about the policies and course information. Resources for students, check that out. It'll have some resources in there that may be useful to you, if not right now, maybe later on, depending on the class that you're in. So that's the standard stuff that you'll have in every class. You'll hear me talk about that probably in every course on this first introductory video. Now, after this, let's talk about Module 1, because Module 1 is what we're here for. This is our first week of information of classes. This is how the modules work. If you've never been in my classes before, in every learning module, you will have the first thing that'll be there is kind of an overview of that learning module, kind of reiterating this paragraph right here, just telling you what, this is going on and what you should try to learn from this particular learning module. Then you'll have a PDF that's in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. You'll see this in the second video that will come up, the start of it, talking about what the subject of that particular module is about. There'll be some supporting either links or documents that you will be able to check out. And I'll show a couple of them to you as we go along within our video series of things here. There will be a lecture assessment. Basically, it's a quiz. 10 questions. asking you what you learned and making sure that you keep track of what you learned. In order for you to move from one learning module to the other, you have to pass the quiz. You have to pass a quiz, getting 8 out of 10 correct. You have unlimited times in which to do it. There is no due date for these quizzes. I set that up on purpose so that way you have the opportunity to answer the questions, get them right, and then be able to move forward with the modules, with the next module. Make sure that you're going through the process and doing that. Labs. Some of the modules will have labs associated with them at the time. Those labs will have due dates. For the lab, here's how it works. The lab will have view instructions. There we go. The lab will have in it, when you view the instructions, it'll have an overview, it'll have a brief, and then it'll have the lab report. So the brief is what you're supposed to be doing in the lab. Read that word for word, follow everything step by step. If you have any questions with that lab brief, not need to be clear on instruction or anything like that. That's what you email me for. That's what you set up a WebEx for. Also, when you look at the syllabus, there is a thing called an open lab where you can come to campus and come into the lab and be able to do work there. So if you can't do it during the week, you can come on Friday and get that lab done. Get the lab done and anything else, and you'll have me available to be able to talk you through it and kind of walk you through things as best as I will do so. Because there's some things you have to discover on your own, much less, having your own, using your own creativity things. So each lab will be there at the end of each module when it's necessary, because not every module has a lab because there's either a project coming up or something like that, or it's not necessary to have a lab with that particular learning module. All right, so you have to get through each one of these in order to have this complete. So now, directing your attention over here to the right-hand side at the top of the module, you'll see where it says 2 out of 6 started for me. What that means is that I've clicked on two things over here and I started looking at them. So the two that I clicked on gives me this little half circle next to that particular entry. What does that mean? That means that I haven't completed that particular step yet. And if I click on, like with this one, with this lecture one intro, it's just the um, information here. There's nothing really to complete. What you will have with each one of these is there will be this little next button right here underneath the print button here that lets you go to the next particular thing, so that way you can go to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And it still will give you the little half circle when you come out of doing that. And that just means that things got started, but they never got completed. In order to complete them, for things like these links or the overview or like the PDF that shows up here, you'll have to click onto that little half circle to put the check marker there. Once that green check mark is there, now it's going to show you how many things have been completed, not just started. All right. When it comes to assignments like this assessment or doing the lab, when the lab is complete, when the assessment is complete, those will automatically check green. So there's nothing you have to do with that. The way to get to the next module is you have to complete, in this particular case for module one, you got to complete the assessment and you have to submit something into the lab, at least one submission of the lab, whether it's correct or not. You just have to get something submitted there. And then module two will be available and you'll have those entries to go through. So everything depends on you going through each module one at a time and processing through. You can't really jump forward. There's no way to jump around here for any of these things because that's the way we got it set up. So make sure that you're getting those done in the proper way, in the proper format. All right, so that covers that section there. And I think that's it. So that's it for this here. There's nothing else really to talk about. Let me get out of my share. Get back to my wonderful smiling face. If you see me looking off to the side, it's because I'm looking at my notes because I have to look, I create myself a script so that way I can follow along what I'm doing to be able to keep my timing correct. So thank you for being here. We'll be coming into part two in a minute with the second video for this particular lecture for module one, and we'll be going over the details of module one at that time. We're going to look at the the PDF and go through the direction and instruction with that. And then the next one, we'll take a look at some of um, the web links that I have on there to take a look at that, and then we'll go on and continue with all the rest. So it's going to be about three, maybe four videos in this particular playlist. All right. So I will see everybody in a few, and we'll get going again.